Welcome to My Worst Date. I'm Cassi.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
When I said that, I almost questioned. I was like, is it my worst date?
Yeah, it sounded like a question from you. Like, it sounded like I'm Cassi was a question. We're like, do you know for sure?
I don't know what. Listen, when I tell you, first of all, my week was insane. I literally was on set this week. So, you know that. Like, that's a whole bubble in the world of itself.
Yeah.
So, like, for 2 days, I don't exist in real world. Mm-hmm. And then I just started math. Math class. I know.
I hate that for you.
It's okay. I have a love-hate relationship with math.
I have a hate-hate relationship.
The hate part is am I stupid? Because I swear to you, like, I learn something, then I test on it, and I'm like,
Nothing has made me feel more stupid than math.
Yeah.
Like, math has made me feel so dumb.
When you get it, you're like, I'm the smartest person in the fucking world.
I'm the smartest person to ever have existed.
That's going to be a no for me, dog. But I have to say that we're done. I have found the worst date.
Uh-oh.
And apparently it's Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
I have no clue what's going on.
It's been all over social media. Like, it's just been absolutely everywhere because she can't stop talking. Like, I feel like she's had this issue just in general.
Yeah.
Because a few years ago, I remember her talking about getting married to Will Smith and saying that she was crying down the aisle. Like,
Jesus.
And I'm just like, girl, like, some things you should just keep to yourself.
Keep it inside.
Dragging Will Smith to that red table with him looking like a beaten puppy.
Yeah.
Airing out all their business. And now, like, come to find out, like, just no one's listening. And she's like, by the way, we've been separated since 2016.
Yeah.
Like
she's
living
like, we've
completely
been secretly separated.
What?
So during the, like, slap moment, they were separated.
What a fucking... Oh, my God. So it was all just...
Well, she said she thought she says, like, I thought it was a bit until, like, things escalated. Like, I thought it was a bit, but it wasn't. Like, so Will Smith, I'm like,
he's
sir,
just like, he's committed to the act, to the role,
or he really still loves her.
Or something, because she's like, when he said my wife, she was like, I'm confused. Who's he talking about?
Oh,
okay,
stop
ma'am,
it.
calm down. Shut the fuck up.
You went to
know
the Oscars
exactly
together,
honey.
Yeah. You posed for pictures together. You didn't tell the world you were separated.
So calm down.
And she's also out here being like, oh, and Chris Rock was asking me out.
Yes. She's like, when Chris Rock learned that Will and I were separated, or heard a rumor that we were separated, he called me to ask me out. And I think that was like pre-Oscars. Mm-hmm. So that's what she was like, oh, that's probably what led to that.
Okay. Listen, I got to be honest. Jada just is reminding me of that friend or that girl that you knew. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you were friends for a while, but you're like, okay.
Confidence is a great thing to have.
Yeah.
It's not about confidence.
But
it's just about storytelling.
Well, it's just like, I think she thinks she is the shit. Like, I think that Jada really believes in herself. And I'm like, good for you.
Yeah.
Like,
amazing.
I love confidence, but like it can cross the line into delusion real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's good. I'm like, everything I've learned about Jada and Will relationship has been against my will.
Absolutely.
And
I didn't ask for this.
Because she's sharing it.
Yes.
It's just like, she cannot stop talking about it. Like, nobody asked. And I think it's because she has a memoir coming out or something. So she's trying to promote it.
This is what I'm saying. Like, do you guys ever have you guys ever had a friend like that?
Where, the oversharer?
The oversharer, but the storyteller. Mm-hmm. Like, always telling stories so that they stay relevant to the, like, I always have something going on.
I don't have friends like that.
You know somebody,
but
like
I am thinking of somebody who is in the periphery of social media is where I get most of it. It's that person that's like, drama is always happening.
Yes.
And that's just like, you see way more and you hear way more than you ever needed to.
It's like they thrive on drama.
Yeah.
Like, they need to constantly have something going on. It's like a worth.
Well, you know what? I think social media, because this is what I was about to say about Jada Pinkett Smith. She's been famous for a really long time, since she was like really, really young. And I think you have like a really warped
Immaturity.
Yeah, and it's just you feel like everybody wants to know. Like you're so like you're so interesting. Like everybody wants to know this.
So vain.
And I think social media is a smaller version of that for normal people, where they're like it gives some people this idea of self-importance, where they're like, I'm important.
I always feel the opposite of that. Like social media and stuff like that makes me want to be more private.
Yeah,
you know. And I feel like fame would be like that for me. It would make me want to keep things more that are insular. Just for me instead of for the entire world. So I think that's why it's so delulu to me that I'm just like, you're out here. And also it's one thing to tell your business, but now like
the way she's talking,
I know.
Well, and like, she has about Will for a long time.
That's just shitty, man.
Yeah, I really do feel
and I'm not saying that I think Will Smith is above reproach, but I do think that like at some point you're just like, okay, like,
well, this is like the father of your children who you've been in a relationship with for a long time. Like,
it's not making you look good at this point.
It's not making you look good, and it's not fair unless you've had a conversation with him where you were like, "You okay with me releasing all this stuff?" Which I doubt.
And the other side of that story is I don't think people understand, like, when you start talking poorly about the person that you're with, it doesn't make that person necessarily, like, at first people are like, ooh, what the tea? You know, this guy's so this or that. But then it's like, what's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why were you so into it then? Because I don't know, you were there for a long time. So it just now starts to not even be me questioning what Will's about. Like, Jada, what's wrong with you?
Right. And then the TikToks have just been freaking so fire. They're so funny, but I don't know. Like, when you're in a relationship for that long and it just feels like a bid for attention or something, or like you said, that it was trying to sell a book or something.
Yeah. 2023 has got it out for people. I'm telling you.
It really does.
It's just, it's
hard in these streets. You can't even be married to someone for 20 years without your business out there.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I have been watching kind of on the flip side of things, because I really do feel like Jada and Will portrayed this outward image early on. Like, people used to point to them as like, oh, they're such a great couple.
Right.
Like, I think that was kind of the discourse for a long time.
Yeah.
They're such a great
Especially
couple.
early on.
And they've been together for a long time. Like, you know, that picture where he's like showing her off on the red carpet, like that went viral and all of that stuff. But I think it goes to show you, it's kind of like those couples who have those like long statuses about how much they love each other. It's like something's going on in that relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of always the way. And I think when people are very loud about their relationship in that way, it does always kind of make me like, maybe, like, what's, just kind of curious. People who didn't do that, who have been together for a long time, and I feel like they had some secrecy to their relationship, was David and Victoria Beckham.
Yeah.
I've been watching the Beckham documentary, which is so good, by the way. I've watched the first 2 episodes. There's 3 of them.
Okay.
It's really good. Even if you're not a like soccer fan, it's really good. And
Chris said it's so good.
Yeah.
He was really like surprised.
And they talk a lot about their personal lives. And it made me understand why, whenever I was kind of paying attention to them as a couple, like later on when they'd been together for a while, why they seemed kind of private. Like, they did things together, but I never really saw like a lot of PDA, a lot of like interviews together, like never really kind of heard them talk about each other.
It's not really their brand.
No, but also they were like hounded. Like, 'cause when they first got together, like, he was star soccer player, and
British media is like,
and they hounded the shit out of them. Like, they talk about like when their baby was born, like they're being followed by they interview the paparazzi that followed them everywhere, trying to get pictures of their baby
disgusting.
And stuff. Because
what's wrong with you?
They were huge, you know. But I think that they're so fucking cute in this documentary. Like,
you're like, I get it.
I get it. Like, they love each other
like
so much.
He calls her on her shit all the time too, which I really fucking love.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they make fun of each other in like a really cute way, not in a way that's like, oh, I feel like there's something underlying happening here.
Right.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
And genuinely, they talk about their relationship early on, and it's like, oh, there was so much like love, like genuine, like love there. And they've been together for a really long time. So,
you know, I just saw on my Apple News yesterday that the daughter of Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward is releasing like a a book,
like a tell-all.
basically. Well, not even a tell-all, but just like pictures of like, because they were married for like 50 years, and like how much like
they
Paul and
each
Joanne
other.
loved each other, and the pictures are so fucking cute.
Yeah.
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
yeah,
I love that.
That's another marriage I think of when I think of like long term.
And I think of like, you know, Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick are
Yes.
still so freaking cute.
Yeah.
Like on TikTok, they're so fun.
And
I love
they've gone
them.
through some shit too, because he lost all his money in the Ponzi scheme.
I didn't know
Bernie
that.
Madoff. Yeah,
I
he
didn't know
lost
that.
No.
everything.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So
Holy shit.
they've been through
Weathered
some
the
shit.
storm. Huh. Yeah. And so I think, you know, when this year, 2023 has been rough. It's been rough on couples, you know, and you've got Jada out in these streets, just like being
Tossing shit everywhere.
Messy. Yes.
yeah. That I think that it would be a good fuck, marry, kill to do couples who have been together for a really long time.
Ooh, okay.
And I know we've done Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell in
Yeah.
the past.
Yeah.
I feel like
But-
we did Kira and Kevin too.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think at the same time that we did
Yeah.
Goldie and yeah.
Well, we've never done David and Victoria, so we can throw them
Yeah.
We
in.
can throw them in for sure. Another long term. I think I'll do Paul and Joanne. I
Paul
think
and Joanne.
Paul Newman is smoking.
So-
Yeah, and young
smoking.
Paul Newman. I remember when I saw Cool Hand Luke for the first time. I was like 10 years old, and I
You're
was
like,
like,
Oh, hi. Yeah. No,
Can I have
he
some of that
is
salad dressing.
smother me in ranch. Yeah. So, okay.
Who else? Who else do we got?
That's been married for a super, super long time.
Or you
That's-
have Rita Wilson
even
and
just together for a long time. Yeah, Rita
Ooh.
Wilson and Tom Hanks
Hanks.
have been
Yeah.
together forever.
Forever. Yeah, I'm gonna do them. I think
yeah,
that
okay.
sounds
Great.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, awesome. All
Woo,
right.
okay.
You got 3 very different couples here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Paul and Joanna, Posh and Bex.
I'm fucking Posh and Bex. That
That's-
is number one.
Yeah.
right there.
They are
Yeah,
the hottest.
priority.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, actually,
she's
Paul-
so hot. Like Victoria
know.
Beckham is. I would argue she's hotter today than she's like ever been.
Oh,
In
yeah.
this interview, I'm like,
That's the fucked up thing is that like as much as our culture praises youth and lifts up like women in their early 20s, I'm telling you,
well, I think David Beckham's hotter than
Dude.
he's almost
I
ever
like
been.
I like seasoning. I like
Yes.
seasoning.
Yes.
Give me someone
Sprinkle
in
a
their-
little of that shit on there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that I'm gonna marry Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward. Though.
Oh, they-
That is a really solid
I
choice.
feel the only hesitation I have.
It's a quiet life for you.
It is quiet.
Yeah.
It does make me wonder. Okay, so because
a
I don't
little
know
bit
that this
rural
is right.
too.
That's what I was gonna
exactly.
say.
That's what I was gonna
I feel
say.
like, am I gonna
had-
have to live in fucking Wyoming or some shit and
I
ride
actually
horses
think-
and shit?
Okay,
Never
You
mind.
should
Never mind.
marry-
Never mind.
You should marry Posh and Bex. Like they're or maybe not. You can marry Tom and Rita if you want, but like their life is very well. It's pot. Like their house is really nice.
Yeah.
He keeps bees. Can I talk about how David
Nope.
Beckham keeps bees?
I love that
He
for
makes
him.
his own honey.
I love that.
I love it for
Well,
him.
the bees make the honey, and he puts it in jars. But
He does it all himself.
It's amazing.
He gets his butt out there and pollinates. I'm sticking with my plan.
Okay.
I don't like bees. I like them, but I don't want to be around them.
I understand.
And then Dylan's allergic to it, and he needs to
Got
come over.
it.
You know, and I
Got
want
it,
him to
got it, got
visit.
it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna marry. I'm gonna marry Rita and Tom, and I know that
We'll be friends.
I will have like a stepson who sings reggae or whatever, but turns out that,
Chet.
Yeah, every
up, Big
family's
Chet?
got a Chet. So
yeah, it's true.
And
He's
if you
just gonna
don't
come
know
over.
who it is, it's you.
He's gonna
Oh,
come
no.
over speaking in pidgin or whatever. Like,
Oh,
he does.
no,
Have you
sir.
seen him
Yes,
do that? Or you're
no.
just like, what are
I wish
you
you wouldn't.
doing? Why are you like
I wish
this?
he wouldn't. The way I would love to see him interact with my son, who would be looking at him like, I can just see Dylan. Can you just see Dylan's side eye? Like,
well, you know what? He's probably looking at Chet the same way that Colin is looking at Chet.
Yeah.
You know that Colin
Yeah.
is pissed. Like Colin is
Colin
like,
can't.
shut the fuck up.
Please.
You're making
Dude,
the family
you're-
look
you're
terrible.
embarrassing me, dude.
embarrassing
And
me.
he's hitting him in the arm. Embarrassing me. Shut up.
Is Chet the oldest?
No, Chet is the youngest.
Of course
I think.
he is.
Oh,
Colin,
the baby.
Colin is Tom Hanks' son with another
Oh,
woman, and
okay.
then
Oh.
Chet is his
did not know
son
that.
with Rita. Yeah,
So just the two, though, right? Do they have another? Do they
I
have like a
want to
daughter?
say they have other kids.
I thought so too.
They do. They have another son because he played a young Tom Hanks in a recent movie because he looks more like Tom Hanks, but he's like a producer or something. He's not in. It's not Chet. No.
Or I mean, it wasn't. I'm sorry. No, it
Colin.
wasn't Colin.
No.
Colin looks a lot like Tom.
Yeah.
I did not know.
I would say hotter. I would say
Colin's hotter
Colin
than
Hanks is hotter than young Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And I'll go on record.
Yes. This is a hill I will die on.
Yep. Yes. Agreed.
Yes.
Okay, but you're going to marry Tom and Rita.
Yeah. Even though I will always know that my stepson's a little hotter, and that's kind of gross, but I don't love that for me.
No.
I don't like that. But it feels right. I can't be living out in the middle of nowhere, sticky.
It's not for you. You would get.
It's a visit.
You would like it at first, and then it would be
for
like
3 days
exactly, and then
precisely, and then I'm like, can I
go home?
Can I go?
Can we go to the city?
you're like,
city home?
what's the nightlife like out here?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
I am going to marry Posh and Bex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
I love the
Bees.
bees. I actually love the bees.
Yeah. I'm stoked for that. Dude, the continuous hot sex is going to be awesome.
You know he's got stamina from his years as a soccer player.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that for us.
Yeah.
Gonna be great. They have it seems like a really solid, amazing relationship. I feel like that is primed to bring in a third and
Oh yeah.
you know,
Stable.
communicate and make it stable. And I'm gonna fuck Paul and Joanne. I'm gonna go to the ranch. I'm gonna
Nice little weekend away.
Nice little weekend away.
They're gonna take
time
care
travel
of you.
back
Yeah.
to win because I think
She was hot too.
yeah they were
both hot.
both so hot.
Yeah.
Like swinging 60s or whatever.
Yeah.
This is going to be
Yeah.
so much fun.
That's why they have the ranch.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Get Down Ranch is what it's called, right?
The
Get down ranch. Oh my god.
Yeah. And I think that would be good. They seem like, you know, they're both like theater people and stuff.
Yeah.
Be a little fun, a little freaky.
Yeah. Oh God.
Then I'll come back to the present.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd be friends with Rita and Tom, but honestly, I just think I'd be just bored to tears married to them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a little too like normcore.
Yeah.
Which I love that for them. It's worked for them and I love that.
But I get to live closer to the city.
Also
True.
that.
That's true. This is a tough one for me because I'm like, do I want to be a city mouse or a country mouse? Is really what it comes down to. Because I enjoy the country. I love a farm.
It's a visit for me. That's it.
I enjoy it. Young Paul Newman, also super hot. My issue here is their kind of relationship. I don't know that I don't know that they would.
Oh yeah, no. There's a passage in the book where Paul is, or the daughter, I think her name is Melissa, is talking about how much like she knows that her father struggled to direct his mother in a like kind of sex scene or whatever. He was just like fought against it. He's like, it's not necessary. It doesn't need to be in the movie.
His mother.
Or no, he was
her mother. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, sorry.
I didn't. Paul Newman's mother was in a movie and in a sex scene, and Paul Newman directed it.
Almost gagged. I was like, wait, what?
I didn't explain that well
Joanna.
enough. Yes, Joanna. Yes. He had to direct her in like a love scene or whatever, and he really struggled with it.
Yeah. See, and so jealous. Because they have. And not to say that like any of these other couples don't, but like their kind of romance feels very insular to me.
That's
like
true.
They're like, you are my whole world.
Yeah.
Like, I only have eyes for you kind of thing. And I feel like I'd be a wedge. I've been watching a lot of Sister Wives. I'm like, I just feel like I'd be a wedge in this sister wife relationship with Joanna.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think I could marry them.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Again, friends, I'm going to visit. The end.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I think that if I was in a period of my life, I think I'm getting there. I think as I get older, I would love that kind of life seems very nice.
Yeah.
Just kind of like quiet. I can garden. We got horses. Yeah. Like this seems lovely. But I think, and I have hesitations on this side too, but I think I'm going to marry Posh and Bex as well.
Okay.
They're so hot. I feel like Victoria would be so fun to hang out with. We're going to go get facials.
Oh, for
together.
Sure. Go to work together.
Yeah, we're going to go to work in quotes. Yeah. And we're going to, go shopping together.
Yeah.
Like they are also like they got the money and they're not afraid to spend the money. And like, so
I don't know if I can
take
it with you.
I don't know if I can go shopping with Victoria Beckham. She's so svelte.
Yeah.
And fit.
Everything.
Well,
looks
but here's the
good.
thing: if I'm
we can't share clothes.
if I'm part of this throuple, I am also going to all of your Pilates classes.
true.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Because like she's in great shape because I'm certain she has an incredible trainer.
yeah,
There you go.
I mean,
So-
money makes a lot of those kind of problems go away.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Very,
we'll
very
work
good.
out together and then I will get that Victoria Beckham body. So I feel like this would be good for me. Now, David Beckham's super hot. Love the bees. Beekeeping age. Love it. Love it. But he also is, I can tell from the, in this, I think a lot of like really big people who are like really good in sports are kind of perfectionists to a degree that is like, maybe would be difficult to live
I
with.
wonder what his sign is.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I wonder too.
Like
I didn't
Virgo
look
or
it up.
something. That would be
because he talks about like he cleans he's like after everybody goes to bed, he
I have to know.
cleans the kitchen every
Virgo.
night. He's like I clean because they light a bunch of candles in their house. Like they have like a lot of candles. He's like I go to each candle one by one and clean the inside of the candles. out
Okay.
Before I
That's
go
a
to bed.
Virgo.
Yeah,
Or-
because he's like I don't like that. Like I hate when there's like soot on the inside. Which look. He doesn't seem to be asking Victoria to do it.
No,
so
I
I'm
mean,
like,
if
that's
that's
fine.
your jam.
You do you,
Right.
Right? Like it'd be different if he had those expectations, I guess, for her. So I think I can live with it.
Taurus.
Oh, he's an
Oh,
earth sign.
yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And also the way that he spends is very like, because Taurus is love comfort. You know, if
Victoria
she's an
Beckham
Aries.
is an Aries.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
I love that.
is
Earth and fire. I love
goes
it.
together.
Yeah. I'm going to marry them. I just feel like they need a water sign to just kind of level things out for them.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I don't. Yeah.
And
Ooh.
and they're all back to back. Pisces, Aries,
Yeah,
Taurus.
back to back. But you know what? I'm a Taurus rising, so I feel like I can relate.
I don't know
We'll be
how
okay.
this cap is going to do in this
That is-
relationship. That's
I don't
gonna
know
be a
either,
little-
actually, for
little
you.
intense.
You and David walking around cleaning
the insides. of
Well,
the
it's the three signs with the like you're gonna butt heads because
Oh,
it's like
so
a
much.
ram,
All of
a
the
bull,
horns.
All the
and
horns.
a
And a goat.
Yeah, a goat.
Yep.
Yeah,
I feel very strongly about the direction that I chose, which is to fuck them.
yeah. Fuck them and get the fuck out.
fuck
Yeah, I feel good. I think that I think that I could bring some peace to that
think so,
household.
too.
I'm okay with it. I'm gonna go with marrying
You
them.
would definitely be the calm like
I'm
waters.
Like, yeah, everything's fine. Like we can just chill
Peacekeeping.
out, you guys. It's
Cool, man.
Everything's cool, man.
Be cool.
And gosh, yeah. Well, I'm gonna fuck Tom and Rita.
What? That is of the things.
Because-
it's not what I thought.
I just feel like that interaction with Paul and Joanna is gonna end up feeling like either they're gonna end up forgetting about me completely,
Yeah.
like, and I'm just kind of there, which
They
is
were
also
like, we
fine.
don't talk about
I'll
that
watch
time
them
we got
have sex.
drunk and
Does it feel
Yeah.
like you're gonna have sex at all though with Paul?
No,
and-
we're gonna
or
do
with Rita?
puzzles.
Yeah, you're gonna
Like,
like
we're gonna
drink a nice glass of
Yeah.
red.
which I'm kind of okay with that.
Listen, it's fine,
Look,
but I don't think you guys actually make it to sex. It was the plan.
Yeah.
It was.
It was the plan. You came over.
Yeah.
We were gonna do it, but we're like, let's ease our way into it, and you guys get caught up. You're
We get to talking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a lovely.
Tom falls asleep.
That sounds like a lovely
on
evening.
the couch.
Starts snoring.
That sounds like a lovely evening. I'm okay with that decision. Like because I feel like I'll go over to Paul and Joanna's and I either will be ignored or I'm gonna cause friction in that relationship.
Yeah.
Because like they again, like if he
It ain't
can't
for me.
direct his wife in an acting scene
Oh, no.
Yeah.
where she has to be intimate with someone else, I don't think that we're like
He ain't gonna direct me into it.
yeah, I feel like I feel like he would feel weird being with me in front of his wife because of the
right.
way they
It's just
feel
not gonna
about
work
each
out.
other.
It's-
Like I
yeah.
just don't think it would work.
It's awkward.
Whereas I feel like with David and Posh, like I think we could get there. You know what I mean? They've been
Right.
together long enough that I feel like they're secure enough in their relationship that they'd be like, this is fine. You know?
Whatever.
This is what we do now.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Cool.
And we're back. Okay, I have the Tainted Love this week, so I will kick us off with stories. This is a listener story. They requested. It says, "Keep anonymous because deep regret."
Oh, okay.
Hi, ladies. I'm a new listener making my way through the back catalog and am instantly in love. It's like gossiping with my girls, even though we are all married and live like trolls secluded in our homes.
Whoa. Triggered. 100%.
Yep.
Anyways, I have an embarrassing post-date story for you. Come wallow in my shame. 2-minute read.
And not,
Amazing.
Oh,
I love it.
I love it. I love this.
Great.
I love it. It's like an article and just like,
She's like, listen, I'm going to let you know right now, you're not in for a long time. You just gotta, I was out on a date with this super hot guy, think 6'4", athletic, real Connecticut Ivy League type. So
sounds just like my type. Waspy as fuck.
So we are sitting outside at a trendy restaurant on a cool fall evening. I'm in a cute sweater that shows off my sad excuse for boobs, a skirt, and look, as a member of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, I salute you. And
as one of the members of the enormous Tiggle Bitties, I jealous. We always want what we don't have. You know what I mean?
I bought and paid for the exact.
You got
exact
you got exactly what you wanted.
I,
you got exactly what you wanted. I'm actually happy with my small boobies now, but okay, so sweater that shows off her boobs, a skirt, and over the knee socks. Basic white girl trying to be sexy shit.
Love it. Yep.
We are hitting it off and the conversation is flowing. And because of this, I refuse to leave the table. I've been there where you're like, it's going really well. There's no gap in conversation.
Right.
I can't break
the spell. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I have been there. I literally have been there where I have to pee and I'm just like, you just
can't. Powered out.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Even as the 2 glasses of wine and 5 glasses of water start to make their way to my bladder.
Yeah, I gotta go.
First of all, congrats on the hydration.
Yeah.
Never in my life have I had a 5 glasses of water to 2 glasses of wine ratio.
I
Not in my life.
need to be better. I'll tell you, one of the things that I learned from my time in WeHo is that you gotta at least do a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
1 drink, 1 water.
Especially
one
with a
drink,
WeHo
1
pour.
water.
For sure. 2 hours later, we wrap up the date. He kisses me goodnight and we part ways. I'm cool as a cucumber on the outside, but screaming on the inside as my bladder is on high alert. I get in the car and run through the game of consequences.
Oh no! Yay! She bought your game.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's only a 20-minute drive home. You can make it. You've held it this long. Okay, this is bad. Maybe I should pull off at a gas station. Nah, I'll be fine.
Oh, no.
Enters highway. At the next exit, I'll pull off and hit a gas station. Nope. A wall of brake lights stands between me and my safe haven of a toilet as I pull up to dead stop traffic for miles.
Oh no.
She got on a highway and there must have been an accident or something. I've been there before where I'm just like, it's only a 20-minute ride home. And then there's been a wreck on the 405 and it's like, oh shit, we're going to be here for a while. That's when the panic sets in and I have to get creative. To my great shame, my only option is a plastic water cup in my door from visiting a brewery the night before with some friends.
Oh no!
I am always. I don't know
water.
what it is about me, but I always think like someone will see me. I never act up in my car because I'm like, everyone's looking at me.
But look, options are limited.
That's true.
What's the alternative?
Just piss yourself. Piss yourself. Let it all go.
I'm done with the cup. I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna
cup.
try
You got
it.
a skirt on, right?
Yeah. Well, she says, I think lucky I'm wearing the skirt. I don't have to remove any clothing.
There you go.
That's where the luck ran out. I put my car in park, lifted up a bit in my seat, and positioned the tiny little cup under me, like you do at the doctor's office.
It's done.
Oh,
I very
her cup overfloweth.
So far.
I very quickly realized I have more liquid in my bladder than the cup can hold as warm pee cascades out of the cup and onto my driver's seat. The cars ahead of me start to move.
Oh no!
I scrambled.
This is my nightmare. This is a nightmare.
Just pee. I got a cup of warm pee. Traffic is
roll the
starting to
window.
move.
Somebody's got their window open.
Splashes. Why is it warm? What is that?
Why is this rain yellow?
Oh no! It just splashes the window.
The cars ahead of me start to move. I scramble to get fast food napkins out of my center console to cover the cup.
They gone.
Drop it into the cup holder and throw my car into drive. I have to sit in my lake of pee for the next 10 minutes until I reach the safety of my home. It's midnight, so car detailing is delayed for future me to relive my shame in the light of morning, where I removed my seat and pressure washed the ever-loving shit out of it for hours.
Jeep? Oh my God. Jesus. Amazing.
This was 5 years ago, and I still shudder when I get behind the wheel. Dude Face and I lasted 6 months before he ghosted me out of nowhere. Not even worth it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she says, love you, ladies.
Could have peed.
Oh, my God.
Could have peed.
Could have
yeah.
peed.
Could have peed.
Now
Should
you
have
know.
peed.
Should have.
Listen, we've all been there. Like, if he won't let you, like, look, you can be like, hold that thought. I'm a person. I have to go pee. And I've been drinking. And like, there is something about like, especially if you're drinking like beer or something.
Or, yeah.
Beer
wine,
makes you have to pee like
The
crazy.
pressure on your bladder. And and once you break that seal.
Oh, she done.
Girl,
Yeah.
you're going to get a UTI.
Yeah.
You can't hold your pee like that.
He ain't worth
It's not
UTI.
good for it.
Amen. Okay, met the dude on Reddit. After a few messages and phone calls, one night he decides to get in his car and drive 4 hours to me.
Wow.
What do we think
4
about
hours.
that already?
How
4
long?
hours?
How long have they known each other?
They met on Reddit
Okay.
and had a few messages and phone calls.
No, that's not enough.
We don't like that?
4
Well, I
fucking
mean-
hours?
I guess it depends on the nature of these phone calls.
Yeah.
Like, is it worth going on? 4 hours, I wouldn't drive 4 hours.
No, it ain't for me.
No.
So.
No. I don't like it.
I don't want a guy to drive 4 hours.
No.
No.
Yeah. And also for me, like that's why my distance settings were so tight when I was dating.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what am I? 4 hours? We're going to start a relationship?
No, we're not.
No.
I'm not trying to travel to like recently I had to drive to Crenshaw and I was like, I don't want to go that far
No.
for a date.
No.
No.
Like be in my car for 45 minutes to an hour? No.
Let me tell you that. So my wedding is in 3 weeks from today. And the amount of people coming into LAX that have asked me,
To pick them up,
the bride,
babes,
to pick them up,
rent a car,
at the
thoughts and prayers.
airport.
No. It
I'm
ain't
like-
going to be me.
You better be calling Hertz.
I feel like
Tell Hertz about your problem.
these people don't understand LAX.
Jesus.
Like you're like
And
this
they
is
don't
not.
understand that you don't live by LAX unless you lived like next door to LAX.
Well, people don't understand how big
LA.
LA is. Like
Truly.
they really don't
and I'm
understand.
not even in motherfucking LA
No.
anymore.
No.
I'm more north than that. Yeah, no, fucking
It's
wild.
not like wherever you're from. Like wherever it's just like, first of all, a lot of airports are so much smaller and easier to get in and
Right.
out of.
Right.
And secondly, a lot of cities are a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Like LA, it's all LA, but like it can easily take you an hour and a half to get from one part of LA to a different part of LA.
Oh,
like,
100.
It's not
It's
Easy.
not.
It ain't
it's
like
not-
that.
It ain't like that. It ain't Ohio.
4 hours though. Okay.
Yeah, 4 hours. Okay, next line. He also was blatantly picky about how women look and dress.
Well, I
Whoa.
hate that.
I don't.
Okay.
It's not your place to have an opinion. I
Well,
guess.
and if
but
I knew that from the phone calls, I'd be like, save yourself the 4 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't need
Exactly.
to come down
No.
here.
gas prices these days.
Yeah. We're at like $6 a gallon. No.
What are you
No.
talking about? It's like $7 a gallon.
I just got gas yesterday and it was $6.
Ooh.
So maybe it's
Bargain.
gone
Wait,
down.
where did you go?
The Shell over
Here?
here. Yeah. Just so
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Now you know. Go fill up
Write
your car.
notes, write
Go fill up your
notes.
car.
It was like $6.50 something, and
Yeah.
then I saw it for like $6.90 something.
Yeah.
I
Do
was
it
like,
before the gas goes back up.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
must have gone down.
Okay.
Ugh.
Okay.
No problem. I looked great and I loved dressing up. Anyway, I'm getting ready after my shower and checked my phone.
Look, sorry to interrupt you again. I love dressing up, but if a man tells me that I need to dress up
sweatpants.
to look a certain way, immediately
Sweatpants.
yoga pants. Like we're not. I'll do it out of spite.
Yep.
Like now I'm pissed.
Yeah. Don't tell me what to do. Anyway, I'm getting ready after my shower and checked my phone. Motherfucker had sent me 24 texts, freaking out that I had taken half an hour to respond. That was the first red flag. After all the fuss
That's not the
over,
first red flag.
No, we've counted like 6. After all the fuss over how he expects women to look, he gets out of his car with a dirty shirt, nasty ass cargo pants, and half an inch of plaque on his teeth.
Well, it's always these people.
Sir.
It's always these
Sir.
people. It's the basement
Sir.
dwellers who are sitting there and saying that Margot Robbie is mid.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I like my women to dress up. Okay, well,
For what?
For whom?
For
For
whom?
deep regrets with my worst date. He knew I was a friggin' dentist, even if I weren't. I knew a brush had not gone near those teeth in at least a week.
Also, when you really think about it, like making out can be gross. Like, because like your tongue is like in someone else's tongue. And if they got fuzzy tongue or like fuzzy tongue, placky teeth, like you gotta make sure your shit. And this is how I feel about everything. I'm like, look, sex is weird, and like if you really think too hard about most of it, it can be weird.
Fuzzy tongue.
Take care of your shit before, like, wash your holes.
Wash your
All of them.
wash your holes.
Well, you should. I think that's courteous.
It 100% is. I
brush
feel
your
like that's a
teeth.
daily thing. Anyways, that's courtesy to yourself. To
I
yourself.
don't even want to smell that.
Respect yourself. Wash your holes. This is the kind of advice that we're giving these days. Wow. Okay.
Wash your
wow.
holes.
Wow. 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 Wow.
God.
Wowie woo woo.
And
Okay.
brush your teeth.
And
Okay.
brush your teeth.
Oh my God.
Okay. So, of course, as soon as he walks in, he starts with the compliments. Then his hands and voice get noticeably shaky. Ew. And without any warning, he tries to stick his tongue in my mouth.
Get
No.
that fuzzy tongue away from me, sir.
Exactly. No.
Absolutely not.
Got that like layer of algae or whatever. Disgusting.
Don't be algae.
Algae. Oh my God.
Who do you know that's got algae mouth? Get away from me. I hate that you even
All
know.
I could think about is like the fish tank that we had growing up.
Oh no, you were right. Algae mouth.
It is that like when you look at someone's tongue and there's that like
Yes, I know what
layer
you're
of
talking about.
white like fuzz. It looks like whenever you look at a dirty fish tank and it has that like blowing in the water.
Oh my God.
Okay.
We used to have like one of those sucker fish things that would eat the algae. Anyways.
They can do it. I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it.
Hitting
Yeah.
for me. I need a sucker fish.
No.
She says, gross. I politely turned down the kiss. I really did. In fact, I'm impressed with how well I handled that. Then he tries to get me drunk and fuck me. When that didn't happen, there was a bit of a mood change and he started to come off a bit aggressive.
Well, of course, because he
Sir.
drove 4 hours, so now he thinks that
He's
you
entitled.
owe him something. Yeah.
It was bad enough to scare me, and I decided to go with my gut and told him I'm not feeling good about this and we're done here.
Good.
Yeah.
So he gets in his car and leaves. 2 days later, oh my God.
There's no need
Block.
for any.
Yeah.
No
Block.
need for
Yeah.
anything.
No
2
need.
days later.
Yes. 2 days
Goodbye.
later, I get pics of his stubby pink chub with zero effort.
Oh no.
With zero effort in cropping out his dirty feet in this disgusting apartment.
An unsolicited dick pic already bad.
Already bad.
If your feet are
And your apartment?
I knew a guy one time that had like
no
hobbit feet. Like
Like
they
he-
were like
grime.
black on the underside.
No.
Oh,
Yes,
why?
they were.
Why?
Did he walk everywhere
I think
barefoot?
he walked. He wore slides a lot of the times and just
Hose slides?
didn't wash, didn't like shower or whatever. And the bottoms of his feet were like literally the color black.
No. Was this someone you dated or just someone
No,
you knew?
no.
Okay,
Someone
thank
I
God.
knew.
Thank God.
Oh.
But
Not somebody you know
Feet
in
are
our
gross.
group, right?
No.
I really
I'm like,
feel
you got
feet
the feet.
are gross. I mean, not to yuck anyone's yum, but to me, like
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that. Secondly, what is this thing? Like there was this trend like last year, a few years ago of all
I
these
am
celebrities
dying
being
to know
like,
where we're going here.
like I don't shower. Like people who
No.
were like, oh, I don't. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
like to
because
shower.
Matthew McConaughey said
A lot
that
of
or
them,
whatever.
like we're saying this shit, and I was just like. And I think Ashton Kutcher was one. Like a bunch of these people were like, "I don't shower."
Well, we
or
know that
I
Ashton
shower.
Kutcher apparently doesn't have good judgment.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Yeah, yeah.
if that's our
But
pinnacle here.
There are few things I enjoy more than
God.
like a nice warm shower or like a nice relaxing bath. Like, what's wrong with you that like you don't want to bathe?
And also, if you're going to send a picture out to somebody with the intent, because I have to assume that the intent behind sending a dick pic is like someone going, "Oh yeah, this is on.
DTF.
This is on.
This is why I'm
why why would you not like look at the picture, acknowledge, you're like, ooh, no, oh, my feet look bad, or oh, there's a shit ton of clothes in the corner or whatever.
Can't see that.
Yeah,
someone like that can't see it.
Oh,
they can't see it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's like smell blindness. Like, I'm always concerned that, like, do you guys come in my apartment and just smell fucking cat piss all the time? Or
no,
we don't. But I understand exactly what you're saying, because when you're in it all day, you're not sure. Yeah,
right. But also, I am conscious enough of it to worry about it.
Yeah,
this motherfucker is like bloop bloop. It gone.
And this is fine.
He just waves his hand in front of his face and it's like, you can't see me.
John Cena.
Yeah.
The pic had mountains of cigarette butts, beer cans in the background and under his desk.
That is a turn off.
I'm so grossed out. I mean, dick pics on their own are
unsolicited dick pics that came out of nowhere after I didn't want to fuck you when we were in person.
Right.
Why would you send me?
I know what your mouth looks like. I don't want to think about it.
If you don't brush your teeth or wash your feet, you are not washing your dick.
You are. That picture smells.
Wash your holes.
That whole picture smells.
Yeah. He says things didn't go well on our first date. What date? And he's willing to give me another chance.
Oh, thank God.
And if I behave this time, I
wish a motherfucker would.
I almost choked.
He will reward me with his
what?
meat.
I hope that's not the meanest comment.
Don't call it meat.
No.
Don't ever call it meat. Nothing is ever that. I'm a vegetarian, sir. I'm uninterested. Unsubscribe.
I am now vegan.
No.
I am vegan. Oh my God. So like a politician, I say, thanks for driving to me. I really appreciate the effort, but I didn't feel a connection and don't want to waste your time. I hope that you find what you're looking for.
So nice.
He says, whatever, bitch, you couldn't even get me hard. You're not my type anyways, and blocks me.
Okay. That's so embarrassing for you.
Sir.
Like, it's so embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
Just put your phone away. Just put it away.
Whatever, bitch. That's always.
I don't even like you anyway. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Why are you in my DMs then?
Why are you driving
you here?
4 fucking hours?
Yeah.
Mister, I don't like.
Why are you sending me pictures of your dick?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Oh my God.
You want a meat reward?
No.
Meat stick?
only if it's a Slim Jim. And I don't want any of it. Oh my God. Oh God. I hate everything about that story. It was gross. Yeah. All right. So this story says, I originally wrote this story for my blog of all the weird things that happened to me, but I figured it could be enjoyed as well. Hopefully you all enjoy it.
Are you okay?
It's so funny. All right. Murphy's Law states, anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Webster's dictionary defines a bad date as this.
And that's the story.
Amazing.
I always try to keep this in mind, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, etc. But occasionally things really do go wrong in ways that you could not possibly prepare for. One day, several years ago, I painstakingly got ready for a first date. I was really excited about it. I did all of the things a girl normally does when preparing for a date. Shaved my legs, spending an hour finding the best outfit, spraying just the right amount of perfume, the works. Once my ritual was finally realized, I checked my phone for the time. It was only 5 minutes until I had to leave. I quickly gathered up my scattered things to head out the door. I checked the time again. 2 minutes to go. I felt my stomach growl. I had skipped lunch to get ready, and we weren't planning on eating for the date. I ran to the kitchen and tore open the fridge. What was the best snack to grab in an almost empty fridge? Pickles.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I love a
definitely.
pickle.
Yeah.
What happened next? I have to run through my mind a gazillion times, and there is no reason for what I did next. I pick up the jar, Then in my excitement and sense of hurry, I shook the jar.
Why?
What? You don't shake pickles.
Under normal circumstances, this may not have been an issue. However, the person who had eaten the last pickle had only set the lid on top of the jar without screwing it back on.
Who do you live with?
Oh no.
Monsters.
What are you doing?
Pickle juice
Screw
splashed
the lid back on.
all over my carefully put together outfit. I checked
Pungent.
my purse. I didn't have time to change into a new outfit.
Oh,
so
yes, you did. You make time.
I dashed to my room.
You say, I'm sorry, I'm running a little bit late.
Eyed my perfume. In desperate act, I seized the bottle from my dresser. I then madly sprayed myself from head to toe
Oh my God.
to attempt to mask the stench
So
of
it
pickles.
smells like pickles and perfume.
That's too much.
Like La Via Esbel and like pickles. It's so gross. This is one of those times when you can say like I've had an emergency, like it's a fashion emergency, but like
it's also an odor emergency because pickles are
Pungent.
very pungent. Yeah,
It's
vinegary.
distinct.
It's distinct. Exactly.
It's distinct.
So like you would go to the date that she's really excited about, and that guy's gonna be like, she smells like fucking pickles. Like,
right.
you know what I mean?
Doing all of your carefully,
Yes.
like just
It ruined everything that you just
better
put
for you
together.
to show up in an outfit that's a little less like, even if you had to make a decision really quickly and it's not as cute as you wanted it to be, better to show up in a less cute outfit than to show up smelling like pickles and perfume.
Well, she chose pickles and perfume.
I wish she didn't.
After my panicked spray down, I ran outside to my car and left for my date. I arrived smelling like a French whore who enjoys pickles a little too much.
Yeah.
I was extremely self-conscious about the smell during
You
the
should
date.
be.
I ended up just owning up to it. We had a good laugh and ended up dating for almost a year.
That's how you do it.
There are
yeah.
moments in life that feel like the worst possible thing is happening and at the worst possible time. I've often found in hindsight, things are never as bad as they really seem.
That's absolutely
Well,
true.
and if you don't take yourself too seriously, I mean, like the situation was mishandled, but if you can just get there and be like, listen, this is what happened.
This is why
I don't normally smell like pickles. Like
or
this isn't what
so
I
much
smell
perfume.
Like. Yeah.
I don't know.
His eyes are watering.
God. I can just imagine that combination
moment,
of like, oh
Disgusting.
God.
And I love pickles. And
I
it's
do
like
too.
that.
But why you would shake a jar of pickles?
And you're just like taking a pickle shower. Oh my
Also,
God.
not screwing the lid on is one of those
Monstrous.
things where I'm like,
What's wrong with you?
it would take you. That's a level of laziness that is truly astounding. Because I'm like, it would take you.
That's male behavior.
A second to twist a lid. What are you doing?
It's not. I take that back because that's not the male behavior in my house. My husband thinks that he has to screw things on so tightly that it's like. I think I'm like. Are you
That's
doing this
male
to prove
behavior
that
for
you
sure.
quote
Yeah.
unquote need you?
Like I'm gonna have to call you over here to open
I'm going to
this
take a hammer to this fucking jar.
before I call you over here to help me open it.
Oh my God. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with the Tainted
sounds
Love?
good.
Yes.
And we're back, Keegan.
Okay. I have the Tainted Love this week. It is spooky season.
Oh,
Yeah.
It is October.
Yes, it is.
I always try to come up, but it's been hard. It gets harder and
Yeah,
it every year,
it is.
right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it gets
I did the
more
same
and more
thing. I'm
difficult.
like, where to go?
You gotta, so I found this one. I actually found it last year, not long after Halloween, and was like, I'm saving it for next October.
There
Love
you
it.
go.
Love it.
Have either of you seen Jeepers Creepers?
Yes.
With Justin Long?
Yes.
No. Well, yeah, Cassie's not a horror movie person.
Yes, I have.
I feel like I have though, but I don't remember it. I feel like it's around the time that I would have like,
Stopped.
been like, I would have been like, okay, I would have been trying to be a hot girl who's like, yeah, I got lots of scary movies.
Yeah, let's do it. It
even
came out.
bothered by that.
I think it came out in 2001. It was
Yeah,
like
that sounds-
early.
that sounds thirsty to
yeah.
me.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
would have been right around the time where, like, for me, I loved scary movies as a child and a teen. Now, my regular day-to-day life is terrifying.
Listen.
And I was explaining this to Eric the other day. I'm like, I feel terror inside of me every single day. So when I stop to consume entertainment, I would like it to not bring
Want to do the
terror.
opposite.
I exactly. I want to do the opposite. I want to binge
Feel
Bridgerton
good, right.
or whatever and just escape. But yeah, Jeepers Creepers would have been probably the last scary movie that I watched
voluntarily
of my own. Yeah. I did watch it 2001. I would have been 19. So things weren't that scary just yet.
No,
they were going to be.
You didn't know what the world had for you.
This is prime pick me Cassie. So I have a feeling
I love scary movies.
Yeah,
like pissing yourself in the theater. Yeah. So Jeepers Creepers, it's about like this like demon. The creeper is like this like kind of like demon person who wears people clothes for some reason. I don't know. Maybe he was human at
the
one
Jeepers
point.
part.
There's not a lot of strong mythology around in the movie.
I mean, basically, it's like a demon that awakens every 23 years and has like 23 days to like
collect
on
eyes and stuff
on people, hunt people or whatever. So the beginning of that movie, it starts off with a brother and sister duo, Derry and Trish, one of them played by Scream Queen Justin Long. Mm-hmm. And they're driving along the
Scream Queen Justin Long.
Totally, he's Scream Queen status. Like he's been in so many horror movies at this point.
You're absolutely right.
You deserve this.
I love it. I love this for him.
You deserve this title. So they're driving along the Florida countryside and they're playing a game where they make up words or phrases out of number plates that pass. And as they're driving, a truck pulls up behind them. And I did rewatch the beginning of Jeepers Creepers for this. Like I watched the first like 20 minutes for this, and it'll come together. But as they're driving, a truck pulls up behind them at a high rate of speed and before speeding past them. And later they see the same truck parked outside of a building along the highway and a man unloading what appears to be bloody bodies wrapped in sheets.
And then you keep driving.
Right. The end.
The end.
After the man spots them, he begins a high-speed chase with the siblings, attempting to like run them off the road. Mm-hmm. And then the whole thing kind of ends up because Justin Long is like, we have to go back and see what he threw into that.
You don't
know.
And I'm like, you really don't. You could just, you got
know
away.
What you could do? Call somebody else to do it.
Call somebody else. Be like, I saw some suspicious shit. So.
See something, say something.
Yeah. While the creepers,
not do something.
you don't. You're Justin Long. Like you don't need to investigate.
Hun bun.
You don't.
Keep it
You're
moving.
Sweetie pie. Yeah. So while the creepers' supernatural background is obviously a work of fiction, the opening scenes of Jeepers Creepers is actually based on a real life case.
No.
So just
I don't want that to be.
Yeah. Don't want that to be the case. Just like in the movie, siblings Ray and Marie Thornton were driving down a quiet road in Coldwater, Michigan. They were also playing the license plate game when a green 1984 Chevrolet van passed them at a high speed. And Marie noticed, because they were playing this license plate game, she noticed that there was a GZ in the license plate, which led her to win this round because she said, geez, he must be in a hurry. Because they were trying to right? So she paid attention to, the plate. As they continued driving down the road, they noticed that the same Chevrolet van was parked outside of an abandoned schoolhouse. And when they looked closely as they passed, they saw a man standing near a large tank attempting to dispose of a white sheet that appeared to be stained red.
It's not for me. Mm-hmm. Goodbye.
So they did continue driving. They're like, okay, we're going to continue driving in hopes of finding a phone to call the police. And Marie, meanwhile, she wrote down what she remembered of the license plate. However, their journey was interrupted when they saw the truck coming up or the van coming up quickly behind them.
Nope.
So it followed them closely. It rode their bumper for a few miles, 2 or 3 miles, just like in the movie, before turning off abruptly at a nearby lay-by. So they continued driving, but decided that they wanted to give the police, and this is where I'm like, brave or stupid, They continued driving, but they decided that they wanted to be able to give the police as much information as possible. So they turned around.
No, you did
stupid.
plenty.
You've done
enough.
Yes,
So
exactly.
they turned around to see if they could get the rest of the license plate. They're like, we'll drive by and see if we can get the rest.
You can't. Forget it.
Right. And you have more information than I think a lot of people would have.
Right.
Plenty.
You know the type of car.
The color, a couple letters of the license plate. You know where he was at the
exactly
schoolhouse. Enough,
Yeah.
So as they passed, a tall man wearing a white hat was standing at the back of the vehicle with the doors open, changing the number plates. So he was taking the plates off. He also had left the passenger side door ajar, and the interior was visibly covered in large amounts of blood.
It's not for me.
This is where Ray and Marie were like, okay, enough,
Yeah.
So not wanting to confront the driver for obvious reasons.
Of course.
They drove back to the schoolhouse. They did go back to the schoolhouse.
Why?
Where they found the bloody sheet.
That's not
because they were like, let's take a peek, see.
Let's not.
They Justin Longed it. Yeah. They went back to take a look, to investigate.
They're not scream queens. This is a real story.
No. Yeah. And they found the bloody sheet partially stuffed into an animal hole there in by the schoolhouse. As they contacted the Michigan State Police recounting what they had just witnessed, unbeknownst to them, the police were already scouring the area looking for a man and his injured wife. Ooh. So Dennis DePue, which also I have to show you because I saved this man.
Looks like a demon dressed in human clothes.
Looks like a Jeepers Creeper.
Oh my God, he is Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, doesn't he
Holy
look
shit.
like he looks like the cockroach guy from Men in Black.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Who's like water or fucking whatever.
Oh my
Edgar.
God.
Yeah.
Edgar.
Vincent D'Onofrio, I think, plays him.
Yes.
But yeah.
Oh,
So that is what that man looks like.
That is a demon wearing
Sir.
a people
Human
suit.
clothes,
Freaking
yeah.
me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dennis Henry DePue was born in 1943 in Michigan and remained in his home state as an adult while working as a property assessor. And in 1971, he married his wife, Marilyn. Marilyn was born in Detroit, and after graduating college, she went on to become a beloved school counselor at Coldwater High School. So I couldn't find much about how Marilyn and Dennis met or what the early years of their relationship was like. I do know that the couple ended up having 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy, and that as the years went on, the marriage started to deteriorate.
I am still stuck on his picture. You should have waited till the end. I can't get I feel like I'm cursed.
Yeah, sorry. I really should have had that reveal at the end.
Holy
I know.
It's almost like The Ring. Now you have 7 days.
And it's also something about the way the picture was taken, because that's actually part of a picture of the two of them together, and neither one of them looked great. So I think it was also the quality of the photo.
It looks like it's shot a little bit from below.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
But I
ominous.
saw it because, spoiler, it ends up on Unsolved Mysteries. And I'd seen it before. The first time I'd ever seen his picture was actually a meme, because it had been like an Unsolved Mysteries. They were like, Dennis and Marilyn were an ordinary couple, and they're like, and nobody suspected anything. And then they showed that picture, and people were like, "Really?"
No,
because
I'm suspicious.
That man looks like he's up to
He
some
did
shady
it.
shit. Yeah. It was him.
It was him. Whatever it was him.
Police walk into the house, they see the family photo, and they're like, "Not where is he?
Where's this
Where's
guy?
that
he
guy?"
at?" It's that guy for sure.
Jesus Christ.
So as the years went on, their marriage started to fall apart. Dennis became withdrawn, isolating himself from his family and Marilyn, and was increasingly unhappy. He was paranoid and controlling, and would often accuse Marilyn of trying to turn their children against him.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she described him as a bully to her friends, and when, after 18 years of marriage, she filed for divorce, she told her attorney that she believed Dennis was trying to ruin her life and wanted to control every decision she made.
Wow.
So, I mean, things were bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though Dennis did not want the divorce, surprisingly, he did not fight Marilyn during the proceedings and let her take nearly everything she wanted, including the house.
That's a man with a plan.
It feels like a manipulation tactic.
Yeah.
doesn't
It's
it?
like, no, go ahead, take it.
However, he requested that he still be able to use the family's guest house on the property as his private office, which to me is always very like he's trying to keep in close proximity.
Yeah.
But
Keep
I
tabs.
think because he'd agreed to everything, he made the process and the divorce very easy. Marilyn agreed.
She's like, sure.
Yeah, like, and again, I think that was part of the plan. It's like manipulation, where it's just like you make her feel she'd look like a bitch if she was like, oh, you're letting me have everything, but I'm not giving you the one thing you're asking for. Right?
Yeah.
It quickly became apparent that Dennis was bad at boundaries, prompting Marilyn to have all of the locks to the main house changed. Still, Marilyn recalled to friends that one day, several months after the divorce was finalized, she came home to find Dennis sitting in the living room. So he still
It's a
managed
no.
to get into the house.
It's a no.
Yeah.
I'm selling the house and I'm moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 hours before the Thorntons first spotted the suspicious van, on Easter Sunday, April 15th, 1990, Dennis arrived to the family home to pick up his children for a court-mandated visit. So Dennis and Marilyn's children, who were in high school at this point, they had a really strange relationship with Dennis. Like,
you don't say.
He'd been like isolated and kind of weird,
Mr. Weird
and
Dad?
like
Yeah.
for a long time before the divorce, you know.
Also, when you're teens, like just hanging out with your parents in general
Is
is like,
ew.
Right.
ew.
And you're being forced to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your dad's that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christ. Fuck.
You're like, I don't need you to
Seriously.
tell me a bedtime story, actually.
Yeah.
I'm good.
No, I will never
I'll
sleep
tuck myself
again.
in. That's fine. Yeah.
Sleep no more.
So they had a really strained relationship and they often resisted spending time with him. Upon his arrival, his youngest daughter, Julie, refused to go. Like, she's like, I'm not going. She's a teenager. She's
Yeah.
a young teenager. And she's like, fuck that. I'm staying with mom. I'm not going. Oh,
No.
sorry. I thought you were going to say something.
No, I'm just, it would be me. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not,
No.
not into that.
Yeah. As Dennis was starting to get like really angry. He's starting to get like really aggressive. And as this was happening, his son Scott was also like, well, I'm out. Like, cause if you're going to be like this, I don't want to fucking go with you either.
Right.
So like the son was like, he began stalling and he's like, I'm not really into this. I don't really want to go. I'd rather spend Easter with mom. So he's getting enraged. He's getting enraged at Marilyn. So he goes into the house and he confronts her.
No.
And he grabs her by the arm, accusing her of turning the children against him. Which I'm like, sir,
Have you seen you?
Yeah, like
Have you seen you?
she didn't need to do that. Like
No,
you didn't need any help.
You did it all by yourself.
So as the kids watched, and this is awful, as the kids watched, Dennis pushed Marilyn down the stairs. And then, so she's already injured because she's fallen down the fucking stairs. And then he followed her down to the bottom of the stairs and beat her brutally. Like wailed on her while the
Wow.
children were there watching. So horrified, the couple's oldest child, Jennifer, ran to a neighbor's house to call the police.
Yeah.
And when she returned to the house, she and her siblings watched as Dennis carried their seriously injured mother out of the house and loaded her into the van, telling them that he's like, I'm going to take your mom to the hospital.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
So that's what he said to the kids. He's like, I'm taking mom to the hospital. And the police weren't there yet, but they were on their way. Of course, they never arrived to the hospital. After the Thorntons called the police, they immediately had suspicions that the person that they had seen was Dennis DePue, as their description of the vehicle matched his vehicle. Sure enough, when they arrived at the abandoned schoolhouse, they were able to match the tire tracks to those that would have been on Dennis's van and soon matched the blood on the sheet to Marilyn's blood.
Oof.
The next day, highway workers discovered Marilyn's body on the side of the road and she'd been shot in the back of the head.
Oh.
So she was still alive after being beaten, and then most likely he shot her in the car, and that's why there was so much blood whenever the Thorntons drove by.
Right.
So police were sure at this point, obviously, that Dennis was behind the murder of his ex-wife. However, he was nowhere to be found. He up and left.
Yeah.
In the days and weeks following Marilyn's murder, while on the run, Dennis sent several letters to family and friends. He posted 17 letters in total with various postmarks across multiple states, including Virginia, Iowa, and Oklahoma. And they were full of long rants where he was trying to justify his killing Marilyn. So here's a quote from one of them. So upsetting. Marilyn had many, many opportunities to treat me fairly during this divorce, and she chose to string it out, trick me, lie to me. And when you lose your wife, children, and home, there's not much left. I was too old to start over. Cry me a fucking river.
Seriously,
This man.
the audacity.
She did this.
Well, and
she took everything from me.
It's coming from a place too of like ownership, possessiveness, where it's like it's so fucking
She
gross.
didn't treat me fairly enough, so I beat her nearly to
shot
death
her.
and then shot her.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then abandoned my children because he killed their mother and then took off.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah.
Oof.
As time went on, his letters became increasingly unhinged. One sent 3 months after Marilyn's murder was 13 pages long and contained long passages of Bible verses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nearly.
This could just be the Jeepers Creep. I mean, like,
It
honestly,
just could be
this
the
whole
creeper.
movie could be.
Yeah. We don't. Who needs a demon that comes back every 23 years?
No.
When you have
It's
a Dennis
just
DePue.
a disgruntled old man.
Yeah. Nearly a year after the murder, Dennis still had not been found. Oof. And at that point, Unsolved Mysteries decided to air an episode about the fugitive in hopes of generating new leads. So on March 20th, 1991, my first birthday, make it about myself. The night that the Unsolved Mysteries episode was set to air, a Dallas woman arrived to find her boyfriend Hank's green Chevrolet in the driveway. And this was unusual because when he would come to visit, he would usually park in the garage. So she's like, oh, that's weird that he's like parked in the driveway. Inside, she finds Hank, who tells her that there's been an emergency and he needs to drive home to see his mother. So with Unsolved Mysteries playing in the living room, he asks Mary to go to the kitchen to make him some sandwiches for the trip. So he deliberately, and she says this later, that she feels like he had, because she would normally be at home watching Unsolved Mysteries. And so he kept it on so that he could keep an eye on what was going on. But he asked her to be in the kitchen
So she wasn't
paying attention.
Yeah.
So the second half of Unsolved Mysteries, because I guess there were two cases on. So the second case was featuring the murder of Marilyn DePue and the hunt for Dennis DePue. So Hank left town as soon as the episode was over, and he was smart to do so because as soon as that episode aired, one of Marilyn's friends...
Boop, beep, boop,
Yeah,
beep,
I mean,
boop,
he's
beep.
very distinctive
Very
looking.
distinctive.
Oh my God.
You'd know.
You'd know.
You're like, that face haunts my dreams.
First of
That's
all,
my friend's creepy new boyfriend.
Right.
First of all, I feel like you'd know before the Unsolved
Yeah, you'd be like,
Mysteries.
why are you dating that guy?
Like, have you seen
Honey,
his face?
babe.
He's a murderer.
Yeah.
And all your
100.
friends are talking about what a murderer is. That guy's a fucking murderer. And then you're like, and then this show comes on, you're like, I knew it.
Yeah, her friend called the police immediately.
Yeah.
Like literally she
While
did.
the show was on.
Yes, because like they came after him right away. So the police were on him that evening.
Wow.
They were like on the hunt for Dennis, Hank. So she provided law enforcement with his Texas license plate number, and she gave, which I'm like, how did you have that?
I don't even have my own license
Right?
plate
Me
number,
neither.
if I'm honest.
Me neither. It starts with a 6. That's all I know.
Literally have to go out and look.
Yeah.
No clue.
And she also, like, I guess she had some kind of idea. Maybe he'd talked about where he'd come from previously or something, but she gave them some tips as to where he might be headed. So 4 hours later, as he crossed into Louisiana state troopers spotted his van, and he led them on a 15-mile high-speed chase, refusing to be pulled over. When he crossed the border into Mississippi, authorities lay in wait because Louisiana authorities had called them, and they were like, he's on his way your direction, be ready at the border, basically, to like apprehend him. So when his van blasted through a roadblock, Warren County, Mississippi sheriff's officers shot out both rear tires of his vehicle. DePue shot at the officers' cars and tried to ram them off of the road with his van, and then it dragged along for a few miles before it came to a forcible stop. So around 4 a.m., after firing 2 shots through his windshield at deputies and another through an open window, he turned the gun on himself and took his own life. So he was the first fugitive featured on Unsolved Mysteries to take their own life, to commit suicide rather than be apprehended. So that is the Jeepers Creepers murder of Marilyn DePue by her husband, Dennis DePue.
Dude, it's always so hard. I think, you know, anytime you're leaving a relationship, but when you're leaving a relationship with somebody that's not well, or who maybe is like narcissistic or abusive or anything, it's just always just so dangerous. And my heart just goes out to people that have to be in situations like that, and just knowing that there are, you know, some resources, but that for the most part, like, you know,
you're largely on your own.
On your own.
Yeah. I mean, and
Scary.
that's why when people say like, well, why doesn't she just leave? Or there's always that rhetoric. It's like, it's never so dangerous as when you are leaving.
Ready to leave. Yeah.
And when you share children with that person, it's someone you have to interact with. It's not someone that you can, there's court mandated visitation. He had to come over and get his kids. Like,
yeah,
you know?
I think for me, the only thing that I can think of, and when we talk about situations like this, you know, on Tainted Love or on one of the bad dates, I always think to myself how grateful I am for our friend group, because I think our friend group is way more active and protective than any form of law enforcement. And that sort of thing would be like your own community that you build. I think that's who I would reach out to before I would talk to the cops, you know?
Yeah. It's just, it's so scary. And just this poor woman was just trying to do the best she could. And she was really beloved at her school. Like people really, you know, she was the school counselor. The kids really loved her. Her kids really loved her.
Of course,
and now they've lost both of their parents in this really horrible way. And beyond that, they had to watch...
Yeah, pretty much
watched the whole thing almost. Yeah.
And for the kids, and obviously it's not their fault at all, but like I can't imagine the guilt that I would carry knowing that like what
we should have just gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously not
It's
at all.
not-
Like, it's not their fault. And I wouldn't have wanted to go with him either.
Right.
But for me, I know that I would struggle with feeling like it was my fault.
But
even if it wasn't.
100%. It's like, well, if he did that to her, he could have just as easily done that to those kids.
He was so far off the rails.
And it would have, I think he directed a lot of his rage at Marilyn and he blamed her for a lot of things. So if it hadn't been this, I think it would have been something else.
Yeah.
Like it would have been something else. He was already pushing boundaries, like, you know, because they were only divorced for a few months. Like it wasn't because I think they officially got divorced in December and this happened in April.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, what are you guys watching this week?
So I went to see Exorcist Believer.
Yeah.
Did go see that in theaters. I enjoyed it as someone who is a fan of the original. Now, I've watched the original twice in the last couple of years. The original holds up in a big way. Like it is so good. It is so tense. Like it was just really well done. This one, it's not a classic. It's not going to be a classic. I didn't find it very scary, but if you like the original, you'll get a bit of a kick out of like, they do, you know, similar makeup. It's a kind of like a callback in a lot of ways. I didn't love a lot of the ways they tried to modernize it. I just don't think it worked.
Right.
It was super effective, but so I'm like, you don't need to go see it in theaters, but if you're a fan of the original, definitely rent it when it comes out for streaming and watch it. Yeah.
Interesting. Do you think that the original was scarier back in the time because religion was more predominant? And then now, you know, we're not super religious.
I definitely think they tried to do a few things with that because I think they wanted to make it less Catholic church centered.
Yeah.
So they tried incorporating like other belief systems and other religions, but I don't think it was super effective in the way that they wanted it to be. Also, it still came across as very religious, which I'm not a big fan of. So I definitely think we're in a different place as far as religion goes and the way that the general public kind of like views that.
Yeah. Right.
I think that there's that. I think that the first one was shocking in a way that this one isn't even. Like the first one went further than this one did.
Oh, wow.
Where it was just, I mean, because she's like
a kid.
Yeah, she's a kid and she's doing like things that are so like upsetting.
Yeah.
So I just think that there was just, I don't know. It was just a better crafted movie. And also I think trying to do two girls while that was like intriguing.
Yeah.
It distracts from what's going on. Cause the first one is kind of very much a mother-daughter story and like relationship. So
Interesting. I'm watching a show called Traces.
Okay.
On BritBox, and it's really freaking good.
Nice.
I just finished the first season of it, and it is
procedural, British procedural.
You know how I do.
I do.
Yeah, it was good as hell though.
Nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
highly recommend.
I got to spend an evening on my own this week
Ooh.
because Eric went to go see the Wilco show.
Oh, that is so nice.
I binged all of the Queen Charlotte.
Oh,
Bridgerton.
So
love it.
good.
Yeah,
Did you like it?
I did.
So good.
I did actually like it. I love the Bridgerton world. It combines everything. It's like, you know, it's got the love, it's got the pretty costumes.
Yeah.
And everything. It's just a pleasant place to go visit.
I'm actually looking forward to the next Bridgerton
Me
season.
too.
I'm curious.
Me too.
I'm curious about.
interested to see how they're going to handle it.
Me too.
But the second season, holy crap.
A lot of people didn't like the second
And they're
season.
wrong. Those people get wrong.
I thought I liked the second season way more than
Me
the
too. Me too.
the
I
I don't know if I
heat
way more,
between-
but I loved it.
I did
just
like-
as
yeah.
much.
Dude, they're enemies to lovers.
Hot.
And I will say, I
Hot.
think the second season took a minute to ramp up. Like I
Slow
think
burn.
it was like a couple of episodes, but once you
But
were
that's
in
what
it, you were like,
made it.
ooh,
That's kind of what made it hot, though.
yes.
Oh yeah, it was tense. It was good.
Love it.
Yeah, well, if you guys have something that we should watch, if you have a terrible, terrible date story. In fact, we're looking, because it's getting to be into that holiday
Holidays.
season, your holiday bad date stories, that's meet the parents, like all of those really awkward situations. Reach out to us at our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com, and we love you so much.
Cheers.